What's up, guys? Welcome back to the garden. So today we are going to do a quick tour of what's happening around these parts. So I've been busy tackling projects. So a few things have changed since the last time we were able to get together, and it's later in March, even though it is a cool morning this morning. So things are starting to do some stuff that they do in the spring, and I want to share them with you. I'm so excited. So today we're going to start in the front yard, and then we'll finish out in the backyard because that's where the majority of the projects have happened. But I'm really excited to share this tour with you, so let's hop in. Okay, so starting up here on the front porch, I think I'm so excited about this. Okay, so this is my potted Eustacia Vi from David Austin that I thought I had messed up because I didn't follow the nursery's instructions when I got her. And I'm actually glad I didn't because she's a lot further along than my other David Austin that I got from the nursery. And look, we got buds, 4 of them to be exact. So I am really pleased with how she's leafing out, how she's growing. The fact that there are rosebuds on that brand new plant, like, I'm so excited. My Philly fig has been doing great. I have not brought her in. We have had nights in the 40s. While there's no new growth on her just yet, I've still been watering and fertilizing. I've noticed that once the temps get into like the 80s on a consistent basis, she will explode with some new growth up top. I'd be really excited about that. But look at my baby, y'all. I'm so excited. Ooh, she just makes me happy. I just come and look at the rosebuds every morning because it just makes me so excited. So up front here, I moved the planters that had the Leland cypress in it. I moved those out, and I brought in some spring diplandinias that I'm actually going to let vine up here. So I planted these a couple weeks ago. When I planted it, it was warm. Now we've got cooler temperatures. She's not doing bad, but she'll thrive a lot more when the temperatures warm back up this weekend. It's just those last couple of weeks right before Easter that always get us, but I'm really excited to see what those are going to do. She does fine. She doesn't go up that tall, so I'll just let her kind of go up the gutter right there and see how that works out. This rosemary I still hadn't got to. I need to come in and clean her up. I'm probably going to hedge her up this weekend. But would you look at the salvia that is right next to her? Look, we got flowers. OMG. There's flowers on both of them. Our lantana looks good. The liriope has been putting on new growth. She's looking good. The Mexican heather is waking up a little bit, albeit slow. She is waking up. I just don't think it's warm enough for her yet. Our butterfly bush is still looking pretty decent. Looks like she's got a little bit of new growth on her. This grass is actually leafing out a little bit. Hadn't seen much more deer damage on that one. We got our other trailing white lantana looking good. Look at her. Ooh, there are flowers everywhere. And guys, the birds are out. Like, I saw a couple of red birds this morning. I've seen some hummingbirds back there in the oak trees. Like, they're out. So this is beautiful when she finally gets going. Still a little cool, but absolutely gorgeous. This lantana, I'm going to give her a little time. She's still showing some signs of new growth. I don't have a heart to pull her out. Probably gonna just let her keep trucking along. In a month, by next month, I'll know whether or not I'm going to be ready to pull her out. But it is what it is. Y'all see the grass growing? I got to come through here and degrass these beds. This weekend, the goal is to get all of these oak leaves out. I think we are finally past the oak leaf drop, so that I can mulch the beds. Now, this yucca, I have seen so many yuccas blooming, and I think I'm finally going to get a bloom on this one. Y'all see that? It didn't bloom for me last year, and I think this is a yellow yucca. Some of the ones in the neighborhood are coming out, but I'm really hoping that that's a bloom. I gave her some bone meal, although most people have said that they haven't done much. I did do some research somewhere that said to give it some flowering fertilizer, so I gave it some bone meal. We'll see how that goes. Look at this. This is just, even the one I cut back, I'll have to put this up on it. I can never think of the name of it. Rock. Oh my gosh, it has really pretty pink blooms on it. But look, it's very aggressive and it spreads really wide. That one doesn't look like this one because it was a little rougher off, so I trimmed it up. But it's mostly evergreen here. But I just want to make sure. I might give it a little haircut so my butterfly bush has a moment, but we'll see. I've been thinking seriously about what I'm going to do right up in here because it's still a little empty. So I've got some ideas. I'm not sure what that's going to look like yet, but I want to put something flowering here that can withstand the deer, which maybe it'll be another trailing lantana. The only problem with that is it'll trail this way and that way. So I don't know. I don't know how that's going to go. We'll have to figure that out. I planted this plum crazy salvia probably too soon, but this was the home of a similar salvia or the same salvia that's up there, and she didn't make the freeze. So I planted this plum crazy. I found it at the nursery. It's absolutely beautiful. This gets to be, I think, 40 something inches just because we're having like our second winter right now. She doesn't look as good as she can, but they bounce back pretty good. This is a perennial here, I think. And I'm looking forward to that pop of color right here. It'll fill in all of this. So I'm not worried about that at all. Laripe putting on new growth. I don't see any blooms on this yucca. She got bone meal as well, but I still like the foliage, so I'm not going to trip if it doesn't, but I sure hope we do get a bloom. Okay, so over here, I did a little bit of work. I came in, I mulched it, but you see the leaves. I came in and dug out the oleander that was right here because I just couldn't take it anymore. And I put in a thyrallis, which is a tropical plant, but my neighbor had some and I watched them. I looked them up last year and these grow really, really fast. And they were really pretty. It has a yellow bloom on it and it grows extremely fast. So I'm hoping that I can get this to do what it needs to do in this spot so that we can finally get this box covered. My neighbors withstood the freeze, so I've got big hopes for this one. And that way we'll have something really pretty. This is the only yellow, with the exception of that yucca up there, that I have in the garden. So I'm curious to see what it's going to look like, to see if I can add some more yellow. This is my sunshine ligustrums leafing back out. They look a little scraggly, but they're leafing out all over the tip. So I said I was just going to leave it alone. Last year, they didn't do the best here, but I went in and added some compost when I replanted this, and I've got them mulched in real good. And I'm just going to be extra careful about watering, making sure they get enough water this year. While they still look like they do look a lot better. So I'm hopeful for these this season that they'll go ahead and do what they need to do because I don't want to move them. And I really, really, really like sunshine ligustrums. Our Grigio salvia, or I think it's autumn sage, I think is what it's called, looking good. I trimmed her up real good, got all the little scraggly pieces off. No flowers yet. This flower's white. I'm not in a rush, but they also get pretty wide. So they'll do some coverage. Now this edition, these are Sarah butterfly bush, Sarah Buddleias. And I found them at the nursery. They were already flowering out. And I thought I got 2 white ones, but I got a white one and a blue one, which is okay. These only get about 24 inches tall and wide. It was just something to give something that's flowering right here. And I think with the colors of the whites, the chartreuse, the yellows, it'll be cute over here. This one struggled a little bit, but she seems to be doing okay. And even though it's not time for them to bloom, they are going ahead and getting to work, even though we have had 40-degree nights. So this is what this is. This one's white and the other one is blue. And I'm looking forward to those growing nice and big and they have like a soft structure. So I'm hoping that they do well there. They look like they are going to do well, but that's the utility box. It looks a lot better now, even though it still looks shrimpy. I have a lot more confidence in it now. So let's walk over to the side bed because I've added some more plants over there. And I think you're going to love it. Lime tree. It has that sappy little bug on it. I've sprayed it down a couple of times, but it's doing good. It's got limes on it and everything. So I'm pleased with that. This other yucca, this one flowers too. Trying to see, looks like that one might still be growing leaves, but she's good. She's really pokey. Keeps the kids honest. This child, I don't know, y'all. I'm trying. I don't know what to do for this. This is a Meyer lemon, an improved Meyer lemon. And I just don't think it likes me. I've repotted it, given it some nutrients. I just don't know. I would like to be one of those plant moms that says I can grow everything, but she looks bad. And I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm following the rules that I've watched videos on and I've read about, and she's not responding. So I don't know what her fate is going to be. I got one more season in me. I do. And I really want to get it right because I would love to grow our own lemons, but child, maybe once the temperatures get warmer, she'll show me something different. But right now, she and I are struggling. I don't know. We're not doing too hot. But anyways, over here, this water hose situation, I'm probably going to make different, but for now, it is what it is. I've got a dwarf bougainvillea in a pot here that I'm going to just kind of let fall over. I think that'd be a really pretty pop of color. Look at our crepe myrtle. Oh my gosh. Now, this is either a Sue or a cotton candy. The container said Sue, and I hope it's Sue. Sioux. But y'all know crepe myrtles grow really aggressively. Everything has had fertilizer. I love this. I can't wait till these over here start to go this way. Like, it's just going to be so pretty. So pretty. And when I planted it, I was nervous because all the dirt fell off the roots. But she does not seem to be phased. Behind her, I've got some snapdragons that I started from seed. I got these from Select Seeds, and I don't know if they're ones, twos, or whatever, but they look good. I'm gonna put them in the ground and see if they produce any flowers just to kind of fill in this hole until this gets bigger, our sunshine ligustrum. But look, she's growing. She's got new leaves on her and everything, so we'll see. But I'm gonna plant these this weekend too. It's 5 of them, so I put them in a cute little triangle and see if we can get some snapdragons there. Liriope looking good. Right here, we're gonna place like some stepping stones from here to here because that's how I get to the water. So that'll be filled in. Our dianthus, I need to come in and deadhead. In order to keep these flowering, you have to deadhead, which is a little bit high maintenance, but it is what it is. But I do love them. And when they are in bloom and it's a little warmer, they smell absolutely amazing. So I also have some alyssum that I started from seed here that I'm going to put in the ground just right here in front of them, because Miss Molly is in place. Oh my gosh. And look, she's got bloom heads everywhere. Look at that. Oh my goodness. And these are not supposed to bloom until like the summertime, but I got her from Home Depot of all places. I've put her in the ground and she is just loving life right here. I cannot wait into those reddish magenta blooms come out. Like, I'm obsessed. All of this was done with the anticipation of Miss Molly being there. And I cannot wait. Yes, the bed looks crazy. It's had some time to settle. When we mulch all the rest of the beds, we're going to come in and add just a light layer of composting mulch on top of here, because they are just about ready to go. We also added the Lil' Kim Rose of Sharon here. Now, this Rose of Sharon is sterile, one, and then two, she's dwarf, so she'll look like this. She don't get really big. I was able to find her at my local nursery as well. She was already leafing out. And I thought that little pop of color back here would be really pretty. Originally, I was going to put a rose back here. I was going to get like a knockout and take my chances. And while the deer have not come and messed with this at all, once it's set, I plan to add like garden lights and stuff over here. I just didn't know if I wanted to be disappointed. And Rose of Sharon are more deer resistant than like a regular hardy hibiscus and even roses, because they are not deer resistant. So I was like, you know what? Let's not even play ourselves. Let's add the Rose of Sharon, call it a day, and do what we know how to do. And she, of course, is fronted by our pink muley grass, which will get, I don't know what, 3 feet tall and be a really pretty pink. So you'll have this leaf color in the fall that won't die back until it gets cold, combined with this pink grass. I mean, you see how it's blowing in the wind now. Like, it's just going to be really, really, really pretty. And I'm looking forward to that. Look at the wind. It's just, and I always have wind. Cold or hot, there is always wind. So there will always be motion in this flower bed. And I think this will be just the most absolute beautiful thing to drive up to. And when we're outside, you know, taking walks, it just gives us something else pretty to look at. So in March, things look really, really good. Got a couple more things to plant that I'm going to leave the bed alone and get it going, or leave it going. And yeah, that's the side bed. All right, so let's make our way to the back. To the back. I was trying to get out here before things got loud. It's kind of cloudy today. So people are getting slow to start, but it is what it is. All right, here's our new bed. And here's our Eden that we just planted. What was that? Week or so ago? 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks is at the longest. It looks like she's establishing herself. I don't see any new growth on her yet, but she also ain't dropping leaves and showing signs of stress. So that's a good thing. I didn't expect to see new growth for like a couple of weeks. Another weekend project we're going to do is concrete this out so that this looks a little better. I just need to move the sprinkler head that's in the corner forward, but I'm concrete this out so that it looks cleaner. I actually want to encase it. I found some, like a little shed that would be, it is aesthetic, that would hide those trash cans, and I actually want to do that, but it's got to get better than that because it cannot be the backdrop. to my Instagram photos for my veggie beds. Over here is truly exciting. So these lavender, I am going to take out. They are really woody, really woody. So even if I tried to cut them down, and this has only been a year, so even if I tried to like cut them down, they would die, because this down here, it's not, and I can't do this. So these are going to come out. I am going to replace it with a different type of lavender, and I'm probably going to put more of them back here, but these will be leaving just because I can't. Our hardy hibiscus, these are the holy grails. Look, y'all. Even in the 40-degree nights, like, these things are going bananas. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 growth points coming from this one. This will be their second season here. And over here, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 growth points. 6. Like, this thing, I think they said it gets to be 4 to 6 feet tall. I am expecting that this year, which will fill in nicely in here and kind of hang over. And then look at our brown turkey. She woke up early too. And even though we have had a couple of nights in the high 40s, I don't think she cares. Like, she does not care. I have fertilized her. I have trimmed her up, even though we got some bottom lambs. I am really looking forward to the growth. I really want to see. I don't know what it is. I just want to see how tall it is. I think I even saw a couple of fruit on here. Like, my college student is coming home for the summertime, and she's the one that makes like all of our fig preserves. I can't find it. The leaves are covering it up. And I planted this for her because she just loves fig trees. So I'm so excited that she's going to get to experience it this year, because she'll actually be home for the summer. But look at these big old leaves. Oh my goodness. I grew up with fig trees. So again, this is nostalgic. You are in the middle of my chest. So if I am 5'6", I'd say this thing is about 4 feet tall. Maybe even close to 5 right now. And just exploding with growth. And we're just in March. So that is going to be a star this year. She struggled last year, but she don't look like she's struggling much at all this year. And I'm here for it. Here is our auntie grows. Look at her, all her new growth. Now, this was the one that was struggling a bit because she was in the pot. But she has had a good dose of medicine, fertilizer. It's been raining. All the things that invite like diseases for roses, and none of my roses are showing any stress. So I think what I'm doing is working on them, and homegirl looks to be extremely happy, and I'm happy for her. So we're gonna let Duchess do what she do. Now, I have some salvia and some begonias that are going to ship next month from Proven Winners. I don't think I'm going to put them there. I think I'm literally going to let her be the only star of this show here this year, even though it is going to be hard not to plant in that space around her, just because of the nature of the rose that she is. They say she likes her space. I would give it to her this year. But over here, where Eden is, the plan is to it's the begonias that can take sun and they're fragrant. The double up begonias, they're like I can't think of the color, but the plan is to put them here, and then I'm gonna add the salvia here, and then just let homegirl go crazy. Hopefully she comes. She's been a little slower than I anticipated, but it is what it is. We just in March, so it's all good. So this blueberry, y'all remember last month when I showed y'all these blueberries and there was flowers everywhere? I don't know Like, I'm so confused. I don't know if these are pollinated. They look like they're gonna turn into berries. I think so. I think so. Like, look, we got one. Where is it? Oh goodness. Oh, there it is. We got one that looks like a berry. I think we've pollinated. I think. I don't know. I've never done this before. All I know is I looked up one day and most of the flowers were like gone, but I've seen bees over here like going crazy. So I don't know. She looks good though. She looks healthy. I'm giving her a shot of acid every month, and I'll put down some soil acidifier when it warms up, like permanently, so it can work. This bed I've got to till because she ain't doing nothing. Like, the carrots are happy, but that's it. And I had all kinds of stuff planted in here that should have germinated and been sprouted by now. Nothing. So this weekend, before I start building out the other beds, I'm gonna get in here, turn this soil, see what's going on. I'm embarrassed to show you this. This is the brand new pink lemonade blueberry that I got. And I mean, I ain't got to her. So she been kind of going through it. The wind been knocking her over. Like, she's had a rough life. I have not been the best parent to her. So this weekend I'm gonna go get a pot and pot her up so she can stop like going through it, because she's like the abused step kid, and I feel so bad. So we'll have updates later in the season. I may not get any fruit off of this, but I do at least want to get her healthy. Kind of like my patients were for that one last year. Get it in a pot, get it healthy, and then this year, she seems to be doing something for me. I'll have those same expectations for her. This veggie bed finally took off. But so sad is that this back row is gonna come out because this is the tomato bed, but I'm gonna let it keep growing for a couple of more weeks until it's time to plant my tomatoes. And then both beds will get planted with tomatoes, and we'll start building these next week. This blueberry plant's still looking good. She's still kind of like showing up. So I think blueberries are a success this year. I think I'll have more information soon. Because see, these look the same too. I don't know if you can see that, but they look the same too. But I think these are berries, because look at that. That's swelling. I think we've done our job this year. I think. And if so, look at how many berries we got on this tree. This is a Premier. It's a low bush, southern low bush blueberry. And that one, I don't know what it is. I got it from Lowe's. They don't tell you. But, I mean, maybe we did it right. I think. As sad as this boogie looks, there is promise on the horizons. Look, her leaves are coloring back up. She's growing new leaves. We even got some bracts coming. So this weekend, she's definitely going to go in a pot. I am going to follow the rules of not messing with her roots. I'm just going to cut her out the pot, just drop her in and put some soil around her. I've had the tropicals out, even in the 40-degree nights, and they look okay. This is not where they're going to go. They're actually going to come up just a bit, but there were holes there from some plants that had died, and I just stuck them in there so they wouldn't fall over because I want the leaves to look good. And look, they are still doing their thing. So, completely pleased with that. This boogie is recovering as well. Look at her. She just had a rough start. Like, I got too anxious too soon, too excited too soon. We don't have any more 40-degree nights except for a couple next week. And, I think we got it. Now these. Oh my goodness. So these are the true sincerity. And look, we're about to get rose. Are we going to get these? I think this is a Floribunda rose. And my girls are like so excited. I'm so pleased with this rose this year. I expect that it will get to the 3 feet that it is labeled to be. It might even be taller. But she happy. And she looks good. She's healthy, which is what I was most concerned about because they had a rough end of their last season. These hibiscus are coming out just like the other ones. They're not as far. This is the Proven Winners Summerific, the Candy Crush. They have their growth points coming. The penstemon. I need to clean this up still, but look, she growing despite needing a good haircut. She is growing. This is the blue buddleias. I mean, she still look the same. Our Magnolia has finished her flowering. It's so disappointing because this Magnolia flowers out at the beginning of what we know. When I see flowers on this, I know that spring is coming. But it was so warm that the flowers didn't get to stay. It immediately went to leafing out, which it's still pretty, but I just wanted to see more flowers. When I come in here and clean out the leaves this weekend, I'm going to drop some gladiolus bulbs along the sides because I want to see if I can grow some. And then we're going to clean her up and mulch this bed finally because she is overdue. Here's our other True Sincerity. Oh my goodness. Just look at all of the activity. This one was the one that was the worst, but ain't nothing like a good defoliation and fertilizer treatment to get things back on track. I'm a good rose mommy. I love it. All right, and here's our other Candy Crush hibiscus. Look, she is 1, 2, 3 growth points, 4 if you count the one that's coming out from there. Absolutely love it. Can't wait till those get big. All right, my battery is low, so I'm going to switch out the battery real quick and then we'll come back and do the rest of the tour. Okay, we are all powered up and back. So that's the Magnolia bed. Once we get all the leaves cleared out, get the gladiola bulbs dropped in, then I'm going to mulch her over as well. I think we're finally over this oak tree leaf drop. For like 2 weeks straight, you would come out here every day and you would just think the whole oak tree it just dropped all its leaves. It happens every year. That's why you see so many leaves in the bed. It is inevitable. But they don't break down. I would use them, but they don't break down as fast as you would want them to, and you need some type of way to crush them up, and I don't have that. So we do get rid of them, although I may think of something or find a way where we can keep them because I would love to use them as mulch. They would be a great source of fertilizing. So this is a new bed that we've planted. If you saw the video, we planted this one maybe a week ago, if that long. Back here behind the rocks, the plan is to put a shepherd's hook with 2 hooks that will allow me to do some trailing plants. I want to see something flowering, trailing over front of the rock. I added some crossvine back here to the fence because the hope is to add some privacy. I'm not going to go into all the details. I will link the video down below so you can go look. But she looks good. Now, I will say that I think the deer have had a little nibble. And I did not spray back here, do any deer deterrent back here because they have all of that under the oak tree that they do consume. Like I've seen them outside of my window, a family of 5 or 6 of them just out there having a good time, which I'm okay with. I didn't want to spray because I didn't want to keep them from coming this way to their natural food source. And I got this crossvine because I felt like after research that I'd done, it was kind of deer resistant. I know it's deer because we have harsh breaks like this on a couple of them. But I still think even though they tried it, I mean, if they liked it, it'd be gone. Like, it'd be gone. So I'm confident that this should survive. I'm going to watch it. If it doesn't, then I'll put some deer deterrent back here. This one kind of suffered a little more damage than this one did. But again, I feel like if it was something that they loved, it would be gone. And it's not. I think it's new. They had to try it. I knew it would happen. That's kind of the price that I'm willing to pay to see if this works out. So we'll see how things go. But it's only been in the ground for a week. And, it is what it is. Speaking of a week, this is a sweet viburnum. This one is a drama queen. This one is the husband that's like, girl, get your life together. Immediately planting this the next day. It was hot, granted. Sun hit her. She was like, nope. We got cloudy a couple of days. She perked up. She looked like this. It's rained a couple of days. And yesterday I looked up and this is what she looked like. I'm not giving her any attention. I am going to let her be for today, even for tomorrow. I've given her root stimuli. I've done everything that I know how to do to treat transplant shock. She's just going through something right now. We caught her at a bad time. Hopefully she will brighten her butt back up. But her partner looks great. They smell divine when it's warm, like in the 70s. I remember one day we were out here and just the entire yard. And this is not the only viburnums. This is the sweet viburnum, but we have the copper tops down below. But the entire yard smelled really sweet. And oh my gosh, I can't wait. I do have some plants coming that we're going to fill in with back here. I'll share those when they get here. This is a butterfly bush, but this is a big one. And it is one of 4 bulbs out of a bulb kit that I got from Sam's that is actually doing something with its life. I don't know where it's going to go, but for right now, I just got it there. I doubt that I'm going to plant it there because it's one of those that get like 8 feet tall. I got to find a home for it. It wasn't looking good. It was looking real grim for it in the beginning, but it seems to be okay. I might just let it grow in a pot for a season to get healthy and then figure out where I'm going to put it. But this is a very nice look. I've got to get some lights like those to kind of come in here to bring it all together. But I plan on thoroughly enjoying that this year. Over here, oh my goodness. Y'all see this? Do y'all see the growth that is happening on her? Oh my God, this is a Gemini hybrid tea that I got from the Home Depot. And look, she got a bulb too. And I'm imagining it's going to be a bulb there. I'm actually going to get roses this year. And I'm so excited. I cannot say how excited I am. I am a first-year rose mommy. And they love me and I love them back. My firelight hydrangea is coming to, she clocked in for work, y'all. She clocking in, okay? She looks good. She look a lot better than what she did at the beginning of her shift last year. Like, she looked like she found her home. Our guava tree over here. This hose link, I think I'm actually going to put on the house. Maybe. But I got to get it better in here because it's driving me crazy leaning. But look, our guava tree is happy. She was on her way out too, y'all. I got to be honest. But all I need to do is fertilize her. I haven't given her any fertilizer, but she looks good. I'm going to come in here. I did clean her up, but this limb still needs to come off. So I'm going to come in and do that. I keep forgetting. But she looks really good, really healthy, really happy, really resilient. So she's earned another year in the garden. I'm excited. What may happen is these blueberries may get moved over here and this will become a row of like fruit plants. Because y'all, what is it? The tower. Gosh dog it. I have it at the tip of my tongue. The 7-tier tower that everybody has. Like they've been marketing hard. They've got the new, oh my God, the green stalks. I want a couple of green stalks. And I think where these blueberry bushes are is where I want to put them. So I might have to evict the blueberry bushes from this side of the edible garden and put them along here, especially because they can do lower sunlight. But I'll figure that out if I decide to get any green stalks this year. That may not happen until next year. But back to this bed. Look, I got my first bloom coming on my dianthus for the backyard. The sun is finally starting to hit back here and things are responding. Okay. Particularly my dianthus. This one is the fruit punch cherry vanilla from Proven Winners. I've got 2 of those. And then I can't remember what the other 2 are. Crap. Oh, I have the tag here. The fruit punch raspberry ruffles is the other one. So I'm looking forward to those coming up because I do really enjoy the dianthus. So I'm looking forward to those blooms and the fragrance. Can we have a moment for the azaleas? I know this is the azaleas year. I don't know what I was expecting for this year. I definitely wasn't expecting blooms. I don't know why I doubt myself. Probably because we have very alkaline soil. And you'll see when we get down to the camellias why I doubt myself so bad. But I planted these azaleas knowing that our soil is terrible, knowing that the pH in the soil is not what acid-loving plants want, but knowing in my heart of hearts that when Easter comes, this is what I want to see. This is not even a full year old azalea that I got from Home Depot, put her in the ground late last season. She struggled. It was in the heat of like July when I put her in. She didn't really have enough time to establish herself, but I have been babying this bed over the winter. I'm talking coffee, anything that I could put in here that's supposed to add acid, just because I wanted a show. And while most people's azaleas this time of year, like we just left Houston and the whole azalea bush was just like you could just see azaleas going bananas. I am so happy to see stuff like this because I still feel like this is going to make for pretty Easter pictures. And there is still growth happening. And these are the reblooming type. So they only have time to get stronger and produce more. The shady side is what's actually doing its thing. And these are encores. They're supposed to be full sun. But y'all, so happy. Even my Proven Winners babies are like doing their thing. So I'm going to keep babying this bed. It's worth it to me. I love this. And when this is gone, you'll have the dianthus that'll come up and give us a show. You'll have the roses. Hopefully the hydrangeas will get to bloom this year. Like, I'm just going to keep babying the bed. I have given it holly tone. I will give it rose tone every month during the growing season. I will continue to drop my coffee grinds. I will continue once every 6 weeks to add. I think I'm just going to come through here. I may not do the 6-week thing. I'm probably just going to come through here and add that soil acidifier from a spoma in the entire bed. Everybody can benefit from it. Likewise, what I'm going to do down with the camellias, because this makes it worth it. And I'm really happy about this because this will get it will peek over. Like, can you imagine looking out the window and seeing that? This is my bedroom window. I've got 2 chairs in there that I sit and look out the window. And like in a couple of years, I'll be able to look out the window and that's what I'll see. I can't wait. I can't wait. Our Limelight Prime is waking up. She's not as far along as the Firelight, but she is waking up, which makes me happy. Hey, girl. So that looks good. She looks happy, which makes me happy. This grass I've got to replace. I'm sorry, y'all, for the background noise. Y'all know what it is. I'm actually going to pull this. I was trying to see if it survived. It's got some cousins down below that actually survived, but this one is dead. So I'm going to pull it out and replace it. Here's the raised bed that we made. She kind of dirty because we've been raining, but it's all good. She outside. But y'all look. OMG. Okay, so starting on the left, Strawberry Hill. She got planted the same time we raised this bed, or we built this bed. Would you look? Like, do you see this? I am so excited for this. Like, she's making a cane and everything. A couple of them. Like, this girl is loving her life. She makes me feel so good as like a rose mommy, because this was a bare root plant a couple of weeks ago, and look at all of this growth. Like, I'm so excited about this season. She gets the most sun out of everything in this bed, and she is just ecstatic. I cannot even contain myself right now. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. I cannot even contain myself with the excitement that I have with this plant. Like, she's gonna make it appear this year, and it's gonna be wonderful. The clematis bulbs, I see nothing happening here. I've already told myself if those don't work out, that I'm going to purchase clematis from Monrovia and have them delivered. If I don't see anything by like early next month, I'm gonna purchase some and just dig the bulbs out and plant an actual plant, because I do want to see that this year. Our little quick fires, one is doing a little better than the other, but she's still coming. She's just taking her time, which I'm okay with. And then our generous gardener, I just put this one in the ground last week, or in the bed last week. And I think next year, here's what I've learned. So I got this from the same nursery that I got Eustacia Vi from up front. And I know everything is due to like the plant's growth habits, placement, all that good stuff. But I repotted Eustacia Vi immediately. Even though the nursery said don't do it, I did it, and I didn't know that the nursery said don't do it until I took it out the pot and I was like, where's the roots? But I repotted her immediately and got her where she was going. This I left in the pot. When I took it out the pot, the roots had grown, but they still weren't like, it wasn't like a 2-gallon well-established pot that had been there. So it didn't matter. The soil still fell off of the root ball, which meant when I dropped it in, it's got to establish its root system anyway, which is going to set it behind for a couple of weeks, which is still okay. But just looking at where Eustacia Vi is compared to where the generous gardener was when it was in the pot versus what it's doing now, which is nothing. I think next year, if I purchase bare root plants from my local nursery, which I probably will, I'm just going to do what I know how to do and get them boogers planted and put where they're supposed to go. I'm going to get them and get them established on my own. It's kind of a fear tactic from the nursery. Hey, we won't guarantee the plant if you get it before March 15th. But at this point, I mean, it looks like I know what I'm doing. If these do well this season, I will have my confidence, and I'm just going to do what I do. Because I want the plants to be a little bit further along than where they are. Like, could you imagine if I got Strawberry Hill? The only reason why I didn't get it because they didn't have it. But could you imagine if I had this as long as I've had that one? Because I've had that one since February. Like, where she would be. So just something that I've learned and something that I'm going to keep in mind for next season. Let's go down below. It might get a little loud because I'm getting closer to the build, but we'll try to get through this quickly, and then we'll go up on the patio and wrap up. But down below, you're going to laugh because I did something crazy. So down here, I came in and cleaned up a little bit. This bed gets it the worst because it's directly under the oak tree. So she really needs some cleanup. So I caught myself going to come out, blow the bed out, get some of the leaves out, and then move some stuff around. So I purchased this hosta from Home Depot. I was going to split it and put it over there where you see 2 plant tags. Well, that didn't quite go as planned because when I started digging up right here, I found my hosta roots and I immediately stopped. Immediately. I think my son dug this one up more than he dug that one up. Like, that one has been in the same place that it's been since I put it down. So I dug up the hosta root from back here that was supposed to be the shadowland above the clouds. I dug it up because I was like, I'm going to put this one right here. Then I'm going to split this one in 2, and that'll be the hostas for right here. And then if these shadowlands pop up, I'll move them. So before before digging in these two spots, I dug up the original shadowland and put her back here. There's no plant tag, but I know where it is. It's right here. Okay. Then we started digging and realized that the other shadowland was exactly where I put it, and that it wasn't necessary to move it because that other shadowland root was there. So I was like, you know what? Stop. Leave it alone. Put the dirt back over it. Let's see what happens. So we are living on a hope, a wish, and a prayer that these hostas actually emerge. Something else weird is happening down here. I actually see the roots on top of the soil, which is crazy because I'm like, well, whose roots are those? It's got to be the hostas. But I don't know why they're on top of the soil. So any of my other hosta aficionados, help me. What is happening here? But it's doing it there and it's doing it over here. Like, look. And I know that's the hosta roots. It's not the camellia roots. I don't know what's happening, but they're on top of the soil, which is strange. I haven't done any research to figure out why that's happening, but it's happening. This hosta got planted. She's happy. Look. I know everything is close. I don't follow spacing rules, which is probably bad to say on camera, but I don't. I just want this to be full. I want it to be full. I want it to be lush. As you can see, my camellias don't have any blooms on them. I've actually been taking these off because they look like this. And what I found in research is that it probably means the plant is malnourished. It's blooming up again. But again, y'all, this is an acid-loving plant, and I've done nothing to treat this soil down here. I haven't babied it like I've babied the one up by the deck. So I'm taking an L this year and pulling everything off so that it can focus on getting healthy. And I am coming in and babying this soil. Like, this is as far, you can't even see it. I'm coming in to baby the soil, okay? I'm coming in to get it healthy. I'm not giving up on this plant. I really want a camellia, so I am going to have to do the work to make it happy, which means I will come and acidify the soil. I will do all of the things that I was doing up front, and give this plant another couple of seasons to get itself established and appreciate what's going on. I really wanted the flowers. I really got hopeful, but they never opened up fully. Like, this is as far as the blooms would get. And just like this, this size, this is as much as they would open up. And this is like 4 times smaller than what it should be. So that just means the plant needs some more nourishment. It needs some more tender loving care. And I'm gonna give it to it. I'm gonna do it. Our Dulce Wildberry heucheras are still kind of chilling out. Don't think it's warm enough for them quite yet. But they are flowering. So I'm looking forward to some pretty flowers. So I know those do well. They did extremely well last season. So I'm not worried about those. I came in and gave these copper tops a haircut. These are copper top viburnums. And look, they are growing. So really pleased with these. The goal for these, I know they look just kind of crazy, y'all, but the goal for these is to grow together and then to grow up. And then once they grow together and up, which may be another season or 2, I will then formally hedge them and make them look good. Our grass is coming, so that looks good. Our wax myrtles got new growth all over them, so that's a good thing. Everybody looks good down here. Oh, let me tell you about something else that I found. So last year, I planted peony bulbs, the ones you get from the Home Depot. Look, these roots are on top of the ground too. This year, because they didn't come up at all last year. Look at that. That's peony. They didn't come up at all last year. So I was watching Jeannie from, gosh dog it, Plant Repeat Grow, something like that. And she is in zone 9B, and she's planting peonies. So I learned a little bit about the peonies, because originally I was like, oh, maybe they were in too much shade. And I don't know if these are going to do anything this year. But look, I got growth points. 1, 2. This is something that they do when they start growing. Like, it's coming up. And I know it's coming up because I dug it up. And when I dug it up, I saw like 4 growth points on it. I was like, put it back. Put it back. I don't know if I'm going to have any success out of this. But when I put it back, it was like a couple of inches, not even a couple of inches, like an inch under the soil. And I'm starting to see growth points poke up from the dirt. This could be me being just really hopeful. We had really good rain. I could be setting myself up for disappointment. I don't know, but it's worth it to me. Here's another one. It's worth it to me to wait and see what happens. So I've had some adventures down here in this bed down below. This is why I hate planting stuff that goes to sleep, because I'm one of those impatient people that'll come in and start digging. There's another peony bulb. I was going to plant something in front of here, but there's another peony bulb somewhere up in here. I don't know where. And I didn't want the same thing to happen with this bulb. If it was going to come up, that happened with this one. So I decided, don't touch it. Leave it alone. Let's see what happens. If nothing happens by like May, then I will do what I had planned to do here. But for now, we're just going to leave it. We're just going to leave it. Y'all pray for your girl and her patience out here, because I am short patient, and I know this about myself, but I'm working on it. These viburnum get a little more sun, so of course they're going to grow a little faster. Grasses, I clean them up. But yeah, everything down below is looking good. God is watering it for us through the rain, so I haven't had to use my sprinkler systems yet. But we're going to come out this weekend, try to do some cleanup so that we can get the grass growing too. I'm probably going to have to seed, but I really ain't worried about over here, because there's going to be some hardscaping stuff we're going to do over here. So my main goal is to get the front yard looking good. Back here, we'll thug it out for a little bit. So going up on the deck, we've got our planters that we potted up in our last video, still looking good. I haven't moved anything in. We've had 47, 48 degree nights, and I haven't touched them. Like, you got to be able to survive in my garden, and that's just what it is. I also have to be a gardener that gives the plants what they need. I'm just talking crazy. But anyways, we got lemon balm coming up. Not lemon balm, this is basil. I see some hopes of the lemon balm germinating. No strawberries still. We'll see. But God's watered that for me. Patio plants. I did a whole patio cleanup, y'all. That's on the design channel. I'll link it. But just look. Oh, look at our impatience. They're waking up. My goodness. Look, we got new growth. Yeah, I remember I cut her down real hard. And I told you she's resilient. Just give her a little bit. She was going to bounce back. She's coming. Our fuchsia's still looking good. It's cooler, so things aren't flowering as fast as they would once it gets warm, but we're doing our thing. Lavender growing some more. We got more strawberries. I really want a green stalk because I want to grow some more strawberries. I have fallen in love with homegrown strawberries, and I want as many of them as I can get. These are everbearing. We're in Texas. I want to find some Douglas bear roots because I heard they can do well in the Texas heat. These are Seascape and Sequoia, which are also supposed to do well in the Texas heat. But I just want strawberries everywhere. But I only want to grow them in towers because I don't want to give up the rest of my gardening space for strawberries. I'm one of those kind of brats. We got flowers coming on the hibiscus. The only way I'll take these plants in is if it gets to be like upper 30s, and I don't see that in the forecast. So while they may not flower as fast, they may not put on new buds as fast, all of these flowers will open up and give me this until it warms up, and then it'll be a light show. So I'm cool. Elizabeth is doing her thing. I planted her at the same time as Strawberry Hill. So again, it's all a matter of the genetics of the plant and where it is. But she's leafing out. She's looking happy. The leaves are getting bigger. So I'm satisfied. And then, of course, our Chef Lara over there. But yeah, guys, that is the garden in late March. While there isn't a ton going on, there's still a lot going on considering where we started last month. So now that I've given you guys the tour this weekend, we're going to work on cleaning up. Friday, we're supposed to have a nice sunny day. It'll be a little warmer. So we'll get the tropicals in the ground. Then we'll clean up the yard, probably take some of the dead grass out. I've got to rent one of those things to do that. And then it's building veggie beds from here. So thanks for sticking around. Things are looking good. Woo! We got a couple more weeks of this winter-like evenings, and then the warm weather is on its way. By the time the first part of April gets here, we will be consistently warm. And I can't wait. It's official. All right, that's today's video. Thanks so much for sticking around and watching. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.